So this is the play right here that kind of caught my face, and that is this is the play here that kind of caught my eye. This is this Aliyah Boston play, man. So I don't know. I think her contact or something got knocked out, but guys, this was nasty work here. This was just nasty, nasty work here, bro. Nasty work. So that's Brittney Griner. It looked like she's laughing.
Aliyah Boston found herself involved in a physical altercation during recent Unrivaled competition. The incident occurred during game action and has sparked considerable discussion about physicality standards in the new league format. Unrivaled appears to be adopting the WNBA's notoriously physical style of play, as another questionable contact situation unfolded during recent competition. Brittney Griner seems to be establishing herself as one of the more aggressive players in women's basketball. Numerous questionable plays characterized her previous season, and this trend appears continuing unabated as she delivered a significant strike to Boston's face during a play. Whether Griner was genuinely pursuing the ball or the contact was intentional remains debatable, but the sequence appeared highly suspicious upon review. The footage capturing this moment has generated substantial attention and criticism.
Look like she's laughing about what happened. Now, you guys haven't seen it yet. Watch this. Watch this. Bow! Come on, bro. Look at Aliyah Boston on the ground. Now, I'm unsure she was, yeah, it looked like she was able to come back to the game.
The particular play in question shows disturbing contact. Boston's reaction suggests her contact lens may have been dislodged by the impact. The physicality displayed was excessive and unnecessary, regardless of the game situation. Griner's reaction following the incident raised additional eyebrows. She appeared to be laughing about what transpired. The video footage clearly shows Boston on the ground following the contact, though fortunately she was able to return to competition after addressing her contact lens issue. The fact that such aggressive physical play is occurring even in Unrivaled, which many hoped would showcase cleaner competition, has disappointed observers. Fortunately, Boston recovered sufficiently to continue playing after reinserting her contact lens.
But my goodness, man. My goodness. We even get this type of stuff done on Unrivaled. Luckily, she was able to put her contact back in, but my God. Mike stated, Brittney Griner is a dirty player who's jealous of Aliyah Boston. Ain't her fault. You ain't relevant anymore. Man, she was never relevant. Only time she was relevant.
Reactions flooded social media immediately. One observer characterized Griner as a dirty player harboring jealousy toward Boston, suggesting Griner's relevance has diminished significantly. That commenter noted the only period Griner commanded widespread attention occurred during her detention in Russia. A clear pattern exists of certain players demonstrating animosity toward Boston and the Fever organization generally, though many suggest this negativity should be abandoned. Another perspective suggested Griner's approaching retirement stems from inability to maintain pace with younger athletes as the WNBA transitions toward more contemporary playing styles. Her remaining advantage centers solely on physicality rather than skill or speed. Some believe the league will improve substantially once older players like Griner and Alyssa Thomas exit competition, as their style represents an outdated approach, emphasizing physical dominance over technical proficiency.
You ain't relevant anymore. Man, she was never relevant. Only time she was relevant was when she got locked up in Russia, bro. I don't know. It's clear as day that a lot of these ladies hate on Aliyah Boston, hate on the Fever girls. But I think they need to just let it go. Somebody else said, I mean, the wanker asking the question should be effed off. He. I don't know. I'm not even going to read that. It's a bunch of gibberish. Somebody else said she's getting close to retirement because she can't physically keep up speed-wise with all.
The WNBA has historically been constructed around physical play because the entertainment value otherwise remains limited. Officiating permits this aggressive style because league leadership encourages it. Meaningful change likely won't materialize until new commissioner leadership arrives. Until the league installs different executive leadership at the top, Fans shouldn't anticipate significant shifts in how games are called or physical play is regulated. Interestingly, rumors suggest Kathy Engelbert's removal as commissioner was supposedly part of CBA negotiations. Not exclusively player concerns, but certain ownership groups allegedly wanted Engelbert's departure. Currently, she remains in position, so further developments must be awaited.
With all these young guns and change in the style of play for the WNBA, that is going towards a more modern style. The only thing she has left is the physicality. Somebody say, yeah, the league will be much better without this old guard play, aka lack of skill. Once the Griner and Alyssa Thomas of the leagues retired, I think it'll be much better. I think it's
Boston certainly absorbed punishment during this particular competition against Griner, an unfortunate and ugly situation overall. This wasn't the solitary physical confrontation between Boston and Griner during the contest. Additional footage shows Boston growing increasingly frustrated as the game progressed. Her body language demonstrated clear irritation with the ongoing physical treatment she received. At one point, Griner was again laughing following another questionable contact. Boston eventually accumulated enough fouls to disqualify her from further participation. The sequence leading to her final foul drew scrutiny.
I think it's more than just them two. But the WNBA is built on a physicality because it really ain't that entertaining. I think the referees allowed them to play physical because the commissioner allowed them to play physical. I don't think we're going to see anything different until we get a new commissioner in this league. They're going to have to get a new commissioner. If fans, no buts about it. And supposedly,
officials assessed Boston with her disqualifying infraction during a play where she appeared to make minimal contact, grabbing an opponent's arm. The Phantom team possessed a challenge available and opted to use it on this particular call. The challenge proved unsuccessful. Despite minimal contact, officials determined Boston had indeed committed the foul, confirming the original call. The challenge was essentially wasted on a decision that was unlikely to be overturned. Boston finished with impressive statistics, 21 points and 11 rebounds on 8 of 17 shooting. Her performance quality makes the competition increasingly appealing to potential viewers.
If fans, no buts about it. And supposedly, man, from what I heard, Kathy Engelbert name was supposed to be getting removed from this league in part of that CBA negotiation. Not just the players, but some owners wanted Kathy Engelbert to be gone. As of right now, she's definitely still there. So I think we just got to wait and see, man. But Aliyah Boston took one on the chin last night.
Numbers like those demonstrate the talent level on display. Additional highlights showed Boston contributing in multiple facets, assists from Tiffany Hayes, defensive blocks, and overall strong two-way play. The overall competition is generating intrigue despite the physical confrontations. Questions persist about whether Griner should consider retirement given her increasingly physical approach as her athletic abilities decline. The situation reflects broader concerns about the style of play being permitted and encouraged. Meanwhile, no updates have emerged regarding CBA negotiations. Reports suggest free agency could potentially commence in early March, though that represents projection rather than confirmation.
Last night, man, messing around with Brittney Griner. Ugly situation. Now, that wasn't the only play, man, from Aliyah Boston and Brittney Griner. They was supposedly going at it all night, man. Here's another play. Look at Aliyah Boston. She getting frustrated. Look at her. What the hell is this, man? What is she doing?
The qualifying language indicates uncertainty remains about actual timelines. Hopefully, negotiators reach agreement in the coming weeks, allowing the league to proceed with its planned schedule. Until then, fans can only observe these unrivaled competitions and await concrete developments on the labor front. The incident between Boston and Griner serves as a reminder that physical play remains deeply embedded in women's basketball culture, extending even into alternative competition formats like Unrivaled. Whether this style represents the sport's future or whether a more skill-based approach eventually prevails remains uncertain as younger players continue entering the professional ranks with different playing styles and expectations about how the game should be contested. An extraordinary contest unfolded featuring Aliyah Boston competing for the Phantom, which secured victory once again. The Phantom, previously referenced as Team Cancun last season, has demonstrated substantially improved performance compared to a year ago, despite losing Satu Sabali and Sabrina Ionescu.
Kiki was really good today. Kiki scored the last 2 points. Did she? No. She scored the game winner, but I think Kelsey Plum got the basket before that. That being said, you're looking at a situation here where Aliyah, Tiff Hayes, like the whole team had more than 12. Whereas for the final, it was literally just Hamby and Ryan Howard. It was just Hamby, Ryan Howard, like Wheeler at 7. Ray Burrell played. Did she get injured? Not that I can even remember. But not only that, it happened. It happened again. So we are going.
This transformation stems from acquiring Kelsey Plum, while Boston has emerged as a revelation. Boston didn't deliver an exceptional fourth quarter, admittedly, though she performed remarkably up to that juncture. However, observing this contest today, Boston contributed a very respectable statistical output, 21 points. Though shooting efficiency wasn't optimal, she missed numerous three-point attempts. She received many open opportunities and shot them all short. She launched many attempts short, which isn't ideal, but taking 6 attempts represents positive development. Tiffany Hayes again performed very well.
It happened again, so we are going to. I'm trying to think. Are we going to full screen this? Are we going to full screen? I just need to see what way this goes, but no, we're not going to full screen. So we're going to drag this and make it a lot bigger. Hopefully you guys can see it. I was watching the game and heard this, and then shout out Livewire Sports for clipping this and putting it out on Twitter. I was like, I can't even remember what time in the game it was. So basically, this is what happened.
Kiki contributed really well today. Kiki scored the final 2 points when she netted the game winner, though Kelsey Plum may have gotten the basket for that. Examining this situation, Boston, Tiffany Hayes, and the entire squad had more than 12 points individually. Conversely, for the vinyl, contributions came literally just from Hamby and Reinhardt. It was exclusively Hamby, Ryan Howard, with Wheeler at 7. Ray Barrel played. Whether she sustained injury remains unclear and barely memorable.
I can't even remember what time in the game it was. So basically, this is what happened. Before, I'll play the commentary from Lisa Leslie afterwards. So Brittney Griner comes for a rebound. But the previous possession, Brittney Griner and Aliyah Boston kind of locked arms. They locked arms. But Griner just goes for the head. She goes for the head and just is like, you know what, I could not care less about getting the ball. She goes for the eye gouge. She goes for the eye gouge. Like, this is a cheap shot. And Lisa Leslie's commentary is hilarious. Like, I can't. Oh, do my headphones work? My headphones haven't been working all day. Sorry, like I'm back.
Beyond that, the incident occurred. The incident transpired again. Consideration occurred about full screen display, but that approach was rejected. Instead, enlarging the clip significantly occurred. Hopefully, visibility remains adequate. While watching the contest and hearing this, credit goes to Livewire Sports for clipping this and distributing it on Twitter. The exact timing in the contest was difficult to recall.
Oh, do my headphones work? My headphones haven't been working all day. Sorry, like I'm back. I'm back in like a half a setup here. Not only that, like, Lisa Leslie literally said that if that happened to her, she would have punched her.
Essentially, this sequence unfolded. Brittney Griner pursued a rebound, but the previous possession, Brittney Griner and Aliyah Boston somewhat locked arms. They locked arms, but Griner just went for the head. She targeted the head and demonstrated complete disregard about securing the ball. She went for the eye gouge. She executed the eye gouge. This represents a cheap shot. Lisa Leslie's commentary proved hilarious.
I think some people have said that. So Lisa Leslie said she would have punched someone if they did what Brittney Griner did to Aliyah Boston. Then obviously calling Brittney Griner exactly as she sees it. If it were my face, I would have punched her. Brittney Griner did it on purpose. Aliyah Boston, Brittney Griner going back and forth. Part 250. Like, it It is literally a case for these two players where they are absolutely.
Leslie literally stated that if that happened to her, she would have punched her. Some people have echoed that sentiment. Lisa Leslie declared she would have punched someone who did what Brittney Griner did to Aliyah Boston, then obviously calling Brittney Griner exactly as she sees it. If it were her face, she would have punched her. Brittney Griner, on purpose against Boston, and Brittney Griner are going back and forth constantly. It literally represents a case for these two competitors where they are absolutely demonstrating they clearly don't appreciate each other.
They are absolutely like, they clearly don't like each other. Like, it is, I don't think there's been a more clear case in the WNBA in recent times of players that just don't like each other. Like, outside of like Caitlin Clark and JC Sheldon, or Satu and Dejanay. Like, it's right up there with that. But like, that was a cheap shot. I have to say that was a cheap shot from Brittney Griner, who, in fairness, was scoring, but getting cooked by Aliyah. Aliyah was cooking their whole team.
There hasn't been a more transparent case in the WNBA in recent periods of competitors that just don't appreciate each other outside of Caitlin Clark and Dejanay Carrington or Satu and Dewana Bonner. That ranks right up there with those rivalries. That was a cheap shot. That was a cheap shot from Brittney Griner, who admittedly was scoring, but getting dominated by Aliyah. Aliyah was dominating their entire squad. Examining Boston, she struggled during last year's unrivaled competition.
Aliyah was cooking their whole team. Again, if you look at Aliyah struggled. Struggled last year in unrivaled. On the year, she is averaging. What's she averaging on the year? The guts of 20. Like, she's had 5 18-plus point games out of 6. So how many is she off averaging 20 a game? So 1, 3, 6, 7, and 5. She's 1.
On the season, she is averaging what statistically? Approaching 20, she's had 5 18-plus point contests out of 6. How far is she from averaging 20 per contest? Calculating 1, 3, 6, 7, and 5. She's approximately 19-point-something points per contest. Basically, she may as well be 20 per contest, which represents all one can request from Boston.
5. She's like 19-point-something points per game. 19, but basically she may as well be 20 a game, which is, look, that's all you can ask for from Aliyah. You can't expect anything more. Like, in terms of the stats, like, I assume Hamby has brought herself up into the near the top in points. Alicia Gray has actually got herself up to 4th in points per game. But tomorrow obviously is an interesting one, watching Lunar Owls against Breeze. This is a game the Breeze should win.
Nothing more can be anticipated. Regarding the statistics, presumably Hamby has elevated herself into near the top in points. Alicia Gray has actually positioned herself up to 4th in points per contest. Tomorrow obviously is an intriguing matchup watching Lunar against Breeze. Breeze should secure victory. The overall standings suggest nobody's better than 5-2.